things that foreign leaders have been saying about him, including the newly elected mayor of London, who's apparently not a big fan, and other foreign press ripping and ribbing him continuously. You got to wonder what Trump's posture should be, or if it's so unique. It turns out historically it is not. And that riles a lot of Trump folks and all. But when it comes to Republicans or maverick candidates, just talk to Ronald Reagan, just talk to a host of others who were not foreigners' cup of tea. Presidential candidate Doug Wead, a historian extraordinaire on all of this, he is looking at this and saying nothing new here. You know, Doug, I'm looking at this. You're a great, student of presidential history. It has happened before with Ronald Reagan, hasn't it?
Oh, very much so. Trump is Reagan in many respects. I had the very humble privilege of being on the speaker circuit with Reagan and sitting backstage with him. You look at these two men, they were both Democrats, they were both in show business, they were both divorced. They're almost exactly the same on some of these issues that conservatives today are saying they differ, exactly the same on life, both for reduced spending, both for reduced government. They're the same on defending the Second Amendment. And the issue you just brought up, Trump and Reagan both put American jobs first, and that made them instant enemies all over the world. Europe, I traveled all over the world during Reagan, and I think South Korea was the only country that liked America during that period because Reagan was restoring America's greatness and bringing jobs back home. China doesn't want these jobs to come here, and neither does Europe. So they're going to favor Hillary Clinton and the status quo.
Although they do like it when the world economic environment is humming, and then all of a sudden he's practically Churchill. But having said that, this does seem to happen disproportionately with Republicans over Democrats. Democrats are just greeted more favorably in the foreign media and the foreign press than you see Republicans. I mean, this latest example of George Clooney, ripping Donald Trump at the Cannes Festival. So that's to be expected. How should Trump respond, or should he bother?
Well, I don't know. He is what he is. We're getting a look now. A lot of the young people who never saw Reagan, it's a different personality, but similar in the leadership, similar to George Patton, the general. You're getting someone who's Patton used to trash talk his opponent before he would fight them, just like Muhammad Ali would trash talk Sonny Liston before he fought them. And he'd also trash
talk his commander-in-chief, which got him in some trouble, right?
Got him in
but
trouble.
He was a general, and I understand that, Stanley Hubbard and some of these others who are big backers of Trump now and helping to raise money for him say that maybe we need someone in your face, again, that blunt, to shake things up. And as you've reminded me, Doug, style can make a big difference. Demeanor, how you approach things makes a big difference, doesn't it?
A big difference. And you see Trump trash-talking ISIS. That's what Reagan did to Iran. And on Inauguration Day, they let the hostages go rather than tempt fate and see what he might do. Machiavelli once said, sometimes it's in the interests of a prince to effect madness. And that's what Richard Nixon did to get the North Vietnamese to the peace table. So we've got a character here in Donald Trump, but Trump, Patton, Reagan, these are leaders. And Patton once put it this way, very famous quote, he said, lead me, follow me, or get out of the way. And that's what you get with Donald Trump.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll see what happens here. All right, Doug, thank you. Meanwhile, we're getting